Think about this. Think about the conversation. The conversation, and I'm gonna put an S on that we, where am I going? Conversations that we actually don't have when we meet our significant other. And I'm going to equate marriage to a vehicle. A vehicle. You guys see me in this work truck. This work truck allows me to make money. It allows me to make money. I was putting gas in the car today, and I opened up the hood, checked the tensions on the belt, make sure I had the correct amount of fluids, because it's hot in Vegas, and I don't want. I already replaced the tires. I did the pre-trip. If you guys are CDL drivers, you guys know what I'm talking about. I kind of got some of the crumbs up off the floor. This right here is marriage. I'm a husband. My wife is not here, but if she was there, she'd be there. That's a wife. But this right here is a picture of marriage. Marriage within itself. When people say it's just a piece of paper, blase, blase, blue. The piece of paper actually is the tie that binds. If any of you have gone through the divorce process, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the tie that binds. But the marriage itself is a vehicle. It's a vehicle that allows you to make money, to get you where you're going in life. It does all those things. There's a rock in the middle of the road. Am I going to hit that rock with my marriage? No, I'm going to avoid that one. Don't know if it can cause a tire to warp, blah, blah, blah. But to my young people that's looking for their significant other, marriage is a vehicle that you should be looking at the other person and saying, hey, where's this vehicle taking us? Where's this vehicle taking us? Is this vehicle going to allow us to make money? Is this vehicle, does this vehicle run right? What do we have to do to keep this running so that we can get where we need to go in life? And my wife, she's going to be watching this, but she's taking on another position. And immediately, in one of my other trucks, I said, okay, well, this is the wear and tear, blah, 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 blah. I already started doing the math on what that vehicle is going to go through. And I was like, okay, it should be okay. Because if not, then I have another vehicle that I might say to her, hey, let's bring this over, it's newer. I digress from that topic, but I'm going back to your marriage is a vehicle. It is a vehicle that's supposed to all the passengers, that's supposed to get you where you're going in life. Sometimes we use that vehicle for enjoyment. Sometimes we use that vehicle for work. That is a clear picture of marriage. And you've got to maintain that vehicle. Got to check the tires. You got to make sure that the oil level is right. Make sure you got enough coolant if it's hot. Now, how often do I wash this vehicle? Yeah, I think I ran a hose over it since I got it. But long as it's running well, your marriage is a vehicle. So when you guys sit down, if you're newlyweds, not even if you're newlyweds, if you guys are even dating each other, you know, and you guys are considering doing life together, hopping in a vehicle. You know, first of all, what type of vehicle do we want? Do we want a high maintenance vehicle? Do we want that M3? It goes fast. You know, as soon as the warranty's up, as soon as that 3-year mark is up, it's time to get rid of the M3. You BMW owners know what I'm talking about. Or you want to get something, you know, kind of like, and I'm going to talk about the Toyotas of yesterday. You want something that's reliable. You know, it's not really flashy on the outside, but that sucker's going to run. You know, you maintain that sucker right. Truth be told, they said this about most cars. If you maintain them properly, I'm going to say that these are the cars of yesterday. But if you want that, go after that. And once you guys decide on a vehicle or marriage, hey, where are we going? Where's the destination? What's the destination? Do we plan to pick up any passengers? Kids, children along the way. You know, and if you have a high maintenance vehicle, if you want to get the house, if you want to get the you know, sustain a certain way of living, okay, what does that entail? What does that entail? And as both of you are inside that vehicle, marriage, life, you want to treat it right. You want to make sure it's running. You want to make sure that the vehicle of marriage gets you both safely to your destination. Safely. You want to make sure this runs right. You want to make sure everything's in order. You want to make sure that it affords you, you know, in this example of this truck, I'll make sure I check it. I'll make sure that you know, the levels are right. I keep in mind, okay, well, I haven't been through an oil change and I've been over this mileage. Let me top it off. Let me see if it's running dry until I can get to it. Think about that. Think of a marriage as a vehicle, because it truly indeed is. It's a vehicle that you and your spouse use to get both of you to the destination that you're heading. And notice, I didn't mention anything about money. I didn't mention anything about what type of jobs people have. I just said it's a vehicle. Sit down and have the conversation. Hey, where are we going? Hey, that shows a nice ride. You know, I like that. But where are we going? The reason why I don't have that Porsche Panamera GTS, the reason why I don't have that is, number one, that type of vehicle, number one, isn't going to get me to where I'm going. It's going to sit. But this old girl here, this gets me to where I'm going. It allows me to make money. It allows me to be, if I take care of it, it allows me to be successful in what I'm doing. Note, I said if I take care of it. If I take care of it, if I make sure I dodge the potholes, oh, let me see that rock. Let me go around that rock. I even told my wife about the other vehicle. I said, you driving my baby here, please take care of it. And I don't mean wash it or anything like that. Just make sure, make sure you caution. Make sure you look out. You know, because this is a good one right here. Both of them are good. And I told her, I said, I don't want yours back at home. You know, even though it's a very, very nice vehicle, I said, I don't want that one. I want this marriage here. Think about that, folks. Your marriage equated to a vehicle. When you guys hop in that vehicle, where are we going? What's the end game? What's the end goal? And keep this in mind, when I say end game or end goal, you know, it's not really the end, but it's where, what destination, where are we headed to with this destination? In this vehicle, where are we headed to? What destination are we going? What stops are we making along the way? You know, what can we expect, you know, on this road trip, in this vehicle called marriage? Young people, sit down and have the conversation. I know it's all about me. I know. That's how we're wired. If you think about the sinful nature, we're wired to think about ourselves first. But once you two get together and you come into holy man, and I'm not talking about no roommates. I'm not talking about no friends with benefits. I'm talking about I'm talking about with the tie that binds. Hey, I'm committed to you. I understand the process. See, I didn't understand this when I was younger. I just thought, I love so and so, and we're just gonna. But the question wasn't asked. So where are we going? Where are we going? I don't think even in marital counseling they tell you to ask that question. Hey, what's the end goal here? You know, what's the end goal in music? What's the progression? See, hopefully he won't have to go to work. But ask those questions before you say I do, so that you can have clarity before you hop in the vehicle. Peace.